increase your energy levels against the cold, or to survive with zero-gravity cuisine. The world is full of extremes, places where life struggles just to survive. If you're thinking of visiting one of these places, you will need to make a lot of preparations. But what sort of food are you going to take with you? And what are the priorities? Water is everywhere up in the Arctic. But in the desert, it's a rare commodity. Without water, you could die in as little as a week because the kidneys literally shut down. This Aborigine in the Australian outback has a rather unique solution. A solution that's found down here. It's a toad with an onboard water supply. A gentle squeeze provides a life-giving drink. There's no need for water-holding toads in the Arctic. Out here, it's food that's difficult to find. Richard Spinks is at home in such extremes. But right now, he's actually at home, preparing for a visit to the North Pole. To do that requires a lot of items, from warm clothes to sleeping bags. But perhaps, most importantly, a person needs food. The human body can survive far longer without food than without water. You can last weeks, as the body literally eats away at its own reserves of fat and muscle. But in cold weather, people use far more energy, and the need for food goes up. These Native Americans survive in this freezing Canadian wilderness as hunter-gatherers, just like their ancestors. They gather berries from the frozen ground and stay in the path of the migrating caribou herds. But where Richard is going to go, there won't be any caribou herds, and he'll have to take all the food he needs with him. It needs to be light, and it needs to last. Freeze-dried packages are one answer. Simply add boiling water, and you've got yourself a meal in a bag. But there's a big difference between doing this in your kitchen and doing it out in the wastelands of the Arctic. It's important to try it out before you go, which in Richard's case means spending the night in a walk-in freezer. Richard will soon cook up a storm undercover for real. The average man needs around 2,500 calories a day to survive, but out here, Richard can easily burn up twice that much. That's why Richard is going to take along blocks of butter to increase the fat content in his meals. It was all very different back in the early days of exploration. But then, food technology took a great leap forward. The space race was a new field of study in extreme expeditions. Here, food and water was a problem. Freeze-dried meals are used just as in the Arctic. But in space, there's the added problem of zero gravity. Liquids just won't stay down. Everything ends up in sealed containers. Nutrition and shelf life are the top priorities. But a few real foods prevent the astronauts from getting too bored. From outer space to the Arctic, foods for extremes really are helping people boldly go where no one has gone before.